Where we dropping, boys? We're going to have a very southern plane right here. And that means maybe a little bit of an early shot call of a military base ending. Ooh.
Quick question for you. Yeah. How many teams do you think are going to drop in military base?
I'll say 3.
I'm going to say 5.
5?
Yeah.
Oh, you're really pushing it,
between military base and Nova, like, you know, I reckon it's going to be 5 teams.
But Imperium, I'm not going to lie, but I don't think we should take bets anymore. Last time we took a bet, you had to eat my jacket.
Hey, that's coming up, man. I had to keep it for today. Yeah. After today, I will take a couple of munches out of your jacket.
Actually, I'm going to change what I'm saying. I'm saying there's going to be 2 teams on military base. I think that's what we're going to actually see happening. But already, let's focus on where the teams are focused to go. Omen Elite, for once, they have a plane that's going their direction, and they can actually go towards George Pole right now. They've always tried to go there, and they're actually having a good time.
Man, this is like with this southern plane trajectory, the teams that do want to go up north, like PLM that we saw in previous ERANGEL games, Rozhok, School, and Yasna, it is going to be a little bit tougher. Pachinki is going to be an area that these teams will look to potentially drop. Of course, Omen Elite, they will get access to George Pool along with the side of Top Esports.
And you know what? I said 2 teams on Military Island. I see 2 teams. TeamIND always going for military base, and then 1 team always going for Novo, and there's Team Top. Nothing's changed. That's been the case every single game yesterday on ERANGEL. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Exactly. But I think the one team that has to learn from their mistakes, and that is Team Top. They had a really hard time always rotating out of military base because they was going to get stopped by TeamIND on that bridge area. They did learn on the last game, though, yesterday, and they went on the other bridge, tried to avoid the fight with TeamIND as much as possible. And if they do that again, congratulations, you learned and you improved, and that is just what we're here for.
It's a southern
you couldn't make it any further. Okay.
But it's a northern phase 1 circle. Now, look, on the side of PLM, they like to go up north, right? So that's not a real issue. They instantly got into 3 vehicles, and they're moving their way up through between Severny and Stolber. And they're going to look to just loot up to have that phase 1 going to center circle, boom. But similar to one of the games in ERANGEL yesterday, Maxon, is it going to be a north side of the river finish or a south side of the river finish?
Because talking about the river, yesterday was really like river focused. There was one of those games that was super focused on that river area. So I'm not too sure. I think it's going to be northern section of the river. I think that's what happened yesterday. So if that's the case again, Purple Mood, they could try and just stick around. Yesterday, actually, Purple Mood, they did have the same kind of zone, but they rotated away, trying to anticipate the circle drifting away, and they put them in a little bit of a bad spot by doing so. So Purple Mood, stick to your guts, stick in the north, and you might be a lucky fellow.
Now, one team that is not going to be too bothered with this north phase 1 circle is Team Queso. They landed in Primorsk. It's where they do like to land. And it's going to be no issue for them to just go into the edge of the circle because that's how they play this game. It's what they do. They hold on to the edge of the circle. They play to where they need to go and get to the late game as quickly as possible.
XQF, team that's been not off to a good start, let's say, today. First team eliminated, 15th position.
And they lost the #1 spot.
Yeah, and they lost the #1 spot over to Purple Moose. So now if that's not enough of a drive to make you try hard as hell and try and take that #1 spot back, I don't know what is a good drive.
Exactly, and that's what happened, like, you know, when they got taken out on the first game of ERANGEL yesterday, they clapped back by taking a chicken dinner. So, to be honest, I'm going to be looking out for them. I'm going to be having an idea of keeping an eye on them because I expect them to do big things. They're actually holding onto the edge of the circle, so let's see how they come up if Team Queso do get near them in the early stages. But Indian Tigers,
Pachinki.
Yep, that's what they like.
All the loot for themselves. They are uncontested. And you know how much loot is in Pachinki. You can easily stack up to 2 to 3, even maybe 4 teams in that area. So they can get top-notch weapons, a few Kar98s, which are going to be super impactful in this early to mid-game stage of the game. And if you can get that locked and loaded, you're going to be a huge threat for the entire game.
DEFORMIA, they're in 14th place right now overall. Like I said, their attitude going into today's games is they've got nothing to lose. They've got nothing really to to drop down from. They're at the, so to speak, the bottom of the barrel, not in a negative way, right? That's the thing. Like when I was talking to David, they weren't like negative when saying that. They were actually kind of positive, right? Because they were like, okay, now we can play how we want to play. Now we can play how we hoped we could get a chance to play. It took us kind of being at the bottom of the standings, but now we're going to come in today's games really looking to be aggressive. And they've got Center Circle, Spy Rozhak, all on their own for now, but teams are going to start to close in around them.
Let's hope the best for them. And we can see what's on the map. Team RGStarTeam. They are rotating towards PLM, towards the north, really early on. I think they saw an opportunity to get that coastline and get safe in the early to mid-game stages of this second game on ERANGEL. I think that's a really smart play. I really enjoy what they're doing here. And a lot of teams are actually rotating to areas where they're really not used to. And early rotation is coming on through. I think a lot of these teams did VOD review, saw what was going wrong, and they started to shift and rotate super early on. That's what happened on last game on Sunhawk. And we've just seen a pattern now that these teams are evolving over the course of a weekend, which is something that's really hard to put together.
Yeah, exactly, Max. And you know, when you look to push into a circle, even if you want to go center, it's not always that you should like take a direct path, right? Go a bit to the west or the east, because more than likely there's going to be a much safer opening to get into the center circle from that direction. We see some of these teams, they kind of take the same kind of attitude of just driving in to the center as quickly as possible. Sometimes when you go around it a bit more, when you take a bit more of a detour, you're going to come across less problems, which means there's a higher chance you survive into the late game.
Definitely Imperium as we panel on over now to top esports. Struggling a little bit. They fought against Team Kesso last game on Sanahawk. This time, I think they've got to avoid the fight. Just take their time. They do not want to play aggressive early. I don't think that's their speciality. I think they're better in the late game, because when it gets to the late game, oh man, are they scary. And as you do also panel over to another team, KURD Squad. They have to step it up. This game is going to be really important for them. For their moral standings, they got to really try and have a really good performance here and get to the late game stage.
Yeah, like I said, you know, they've got a lot of support behind them from the home crowds. They feel that even all the way being here in Berlin, they know the support they have. Of course, they're in a situation where they only have kind of two main players from the roster, two subs come in at the last minute. So they're still building synergy. They're still finding their feet, looking to use these games to evolve their gameplay every single time, every single chance that they can get. So I have no doubt that when it comes to game 3, game 4, game 5, we'll see them get into the top of the tables.
I think that would definitely be something that a lot of people on the stream would like to see, Imperium. But be careful, DEFORMIA. Last time you did that on Sunhawk, it didn't quite work out. You want to stick together if possible. Well, thank you very much. But yeah, you have one member. Is a scout. Avoid getting scouted out. He's just prone down, taking his time. You did maybe see one member of RGStarTeam, like Xiaotian. He's just going to stay really safe. He's not taking the opportunity. That's what your scouts do. If you do not get seen by the opposing team, you're doing your job well, and that's what he saw there. And he's just going to go back to his team, maybe wanting to rotate to that compound and get a good location under control.
Well, talk about rotating to compound. The side of Omen Elite, who landed and went around George Pool, they looking to move around and get into a bit more of a center circle situation, so they can find themselves in a stronger position coming into phase 2.
Me likey, big time. Look at that AWM coming out from the sky. Thank you, PUBG gods. If someone can get his hand on that with a time 8 scope, that would be one super mega threat in this upcoming game. And I think it's a little bit too far from teams, but if some team are able to scout that one out, that would be super valuable for this early game stage.
Yeah. Side of all Rejection Gaming, they have Yasnai. They're actually in Yasnai on their own for now. I say for now because the circle, this next phase, it could shift kind of somewhat in any direction. And they're kind of holding out on their own without any real issue, as Siga is looking for Jihong from RGStar. Is going to use that M4 to fire from the distance, but doesn't get too many shots off, and now is going to look to join the rest of his Omen Elite team, possibly.
Nice few shots right there. Siga, maybe you want to try and get towards your team a little bit. He is the dip. He has a little bit of extra protection he can work with. That's not too much of a problem, but you do not want to overstay it right now. Team top. Team from Korea. Having a lot on their shoulders, as they are the only team from Korea at this tournament, Imperium. A lot of pressure and trying to represent the Korean, PUBG mobile community.
Yeah.
That is a lot to deal with, though. Hope they will have a good game. And TeamIND, they love those bridges. They love them. Every single time they stay on the bridge and they try and hold it as long as they can.
Yeah, but when they went into a bridge situation against XQF yesterday, it was working out for them and they were actually putting a lot of pressure on the XQF, but they didn't actually stay on it right. They actually ended up exiting. But the difference is that they're actually looking to get over the bridge compound this time as opposed to actually holding on to that bridge compound. So it's a different situation on the side of TeamIND in today's game. As Fireboy looking to take a couple of shots off. See, TeamIND, they realize it's not worth it, right? There's no point just taking out a bridge entrance.
Also, we mentioned that earlier, like the river section was going to be extremely important, and you can see there's already a zone of high pressure. So I think the teams that can actually get that under control will have a really good opportunity to get to the late game and potentially take the win. That would be a really nice one. But Indian Tigers just chilling, taking their time.
I absolutely love Team Queso. When I say I love Team Queso, the way they've gone into the circle is they got boats.
Again, like Team Secret.
Like, they kind of don't have to, but that's how safe they want to play it, right? That's how much they want to hold on to their 5th place spot. You take no chances, no compromise. You get into the circle in the safest way possible. They are on the far west side, outside of Zarki. Nobody around them. They can just wait for phase 2 to show up.
Just for that, Team Kessa in my books, they win epic game of points. Looking extra cool in the process.
Exactly.
An M249. I don't. It's not a weapon that I like, but if you like to go for compound breaches,
I love the M249.
You just got so many bullets in that weapon. You can just storm in and kill absolutely everyone with those 100 bullets in that weapon. So you can go for it. If a team can get it, which seems like that was the case,
PLM.
it can be extremely viable. PLM extremely aggressive. So that's a weapon that fits their style.
Okay, so this phase 2 shift, it's gone down southeast. I think it's going to be a south of the river entrance, or circle, should I say. I think that's going to shift a lot of teams back down south. Of course, the likes of Team Top, the likes of PK, Indian Tigers, they already hold down south, so they're in good spots.
Team ARG, they did flush one member away from Nova Monster Shield. That's going to be Bixia. And they are just on a move. They don't really want to pick that fight. They only have one compound. If you have to peel away, it is pretty complicated. So I understand why they decided to give it up. They have vehicles, so they can just get to a safe area a little bit downhill. Makes way more sense, a lot more safer. And, Hospital is going to be Kurd Squad. Just going to be leaving the area. It does have pretty good loot. I think Hospital is pretty well overlooked by a lot of the teams.
It is.
And they do not drop there, don't go there. But if you get a team there, like, the loot is absolutely insane.
If I were Kurd Squad, I'd actually go onto the mountain outside Georgepool.
Big boy
and
mountain.
hold on to the big boy mountain. The reason why is because you get such a great viewpoint of the teams around it, and common sense should tell you that there's going to be a lot of teams going back down the south area of the map, and it could see them pick up a couple of knockdowns, if not even a couple of kills, while holding on to the edge of the circle, and that's exactly what they're doing.
DEFORMIA spotting out some members, just going to shot back and forth with that Mini 14, but doesn't connect anything on RGStarTeam, just going to be rotating away, taking his time. And they are having actually a pretty good compound. I said it already, these buildings on left, in which is Nuckers and Kale, they are so good to defend. You have multiple stories, you're a little bit unpredictable of what's going to happen, and you have so many spots to regen back up, but Team Kesso Marco going to be taken away by Omen Elite. One of their members actually doing a really good job there, spotting him out.
Yeah, I asked the guys of Team Queso what their favorite game to play was when it comes to like outside of PUBG Mobile, like, you know, in terms of team bonding, and it's Marco Polo.
Really?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I know. If you don't get that pun, then I feel sorry for you.
I was about to say, what are you doing there, Marvin? Well, that was not going to work out for you, and that's going to be Pittsburgh just going to be storming on through and securing one juicy kill for themselves. Yeah,
and like Team Queso, they lose a member, they lose their IGL, which now, again, from kind of talking to him, he still stays communicating with the team. He's still in-game leads, even though he might be taken out of the game. And that's such an important role when you're able to do that as in-game leader, when you're still able to keep your team in a positive situation, even if you're out of the game. That's such an important part of your role. And what they're doing is they're kind of going, okay, we need to now shift to the east side of the circle, because most of the teams, they're going to be moving down south, and they're going to be moving down south from the west side of the circle.
Team Secret here was the standard little belt formation with the cars. Gives nice protection, can dip up and down as you want, and you can get a nice angle of fire. Even like you're basically creating yourself a mini compound, like temporary compound. So if you can do that, definitely viable, especially on a high ground like here. But it's just temporary. They're on the move, trying to find a better location to work with, which I can definitely understand. Same for actually Rejection Gaming. They are having a lot of cars under their control right here, but why have only one car when you can have four? You know?
Of course, getting as many vehicles as you can in the early parts of the game is so important. It means that you can exit into the circle. You can use those vehicles for cover by blowing them up. And it's just such an important part. It's such an important strategy of surviving as long as possible into this game as Team IND are looking for top esports. They hold the circle just inside ruins as top esports. They're over on the north side of this river trying to access their way through.
They have the bridge area. The river troll is going to try and hold it a little bit longer. He's not going to get another AWM dropping out from the sky. One team did get it earlier. I do not know who's going to get this one, but it is close to the river. A lot of teams are around there, so maybe one lucky team will be able to find it. And even at this stage, it's going to be super impactful, but be careful. Purple Mood Gaming having a few nice shots on Store 9K from Team Secret, but not able to get that finishing blow quite yet, but they're very split. Team Secret, maybe not the best fight to take at this stage. You're on the two sides of a mountain, you're literally split, you have no multiple angles of fire, you do not have more pressure to apply on PLM, so just regroup, please. That is not a prime opportunity.
Yeah, over on the side of Purple, like, they hold a lot of angles. They're a little bit split up, but they do hold a lot of angles. And because it's in between Roshawk and School, they're able to stay kind of aware of all the teams around them while still holding the high ground.
Team Secret picking another fight behind them because we have a slow rotation from Purple Mood. They're trying to surround them, trying to apply more pressure, more angles of fire, and that's a really good play, really by the book kind of gameplay. And if it works, go for it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Gonna have then the members of Pittsburgh's Knight not moving quite yet, holding that compound. There's no reason to move. It's right in the circle, feeling good. No team's doing like mistakes. Like we had a bunch of mistakes yesterday, but like I think the teams really evolved and saw what was going wrong, and they tried to fix that ASAP, and they did that really well.
Of course, you got to be able to adapt, improve, and make a change.
Oh, that shift. Pachinki. Are we gonna have Pachinki ending?
I'm sorry. I'm just like, yep, this is wonderful. It's like everybody expected the circle to be up north. I knew it was going to be down south. I don't know why my spidey senses were tingling. I wasn't expecting to be so much down south. I thought the river might play a bit more of a play, but it's gone completely outside of Roshawk.
And Purple Mood, they rotated. They didn't trust their guts. They just went down.
Yeah.
Instead, and I do really respect that. Went towards Pachinki. If you have like we had yesterday, a really awesome ending in Military Base. If you can now have a Pachinki ending, we've got the two best endings basically in ERANGEL map. So that would be absolutely a great sight to see. This squad still going to school. We're too cool to go for school, so we don't know what's going on here, but they're trying to hold it for as long as possible.
Yeah, so, like, we see with the overview of the map, like, the likes of Omen Elite, they're going into the blue zone once again. We saw them do that yesterday to make sure that they can securely get into the circle without any hassle. Team Kaiser are doing something similar because common sense says that most of the teams are going to be going into the circle from the north side. So if Team Kaiser can get onto the southeast, that will really give them a nice area inside the circle around potentially Potato Hill.
Potato Hill, I would like to see that Imperium, the place you come from, the place of birth, aka Island. But Team Top Esports is still close to Pachinki, and I think a lot of these teams are going to try and get to that central area of Pachinki, having a fun time. And once again, Pachinki ending would be a sight to see. XQF having one of their scouts a little bit out ahead, but Purple Mood there. The two teams might be clashing, number 1 and 2nd position, facing up against each other. That will be really interesting. but I think it might be going over to Purple Moon because they have that compound under control, which is not the case of XQF. And that is already, when you have two teams on extremely high level, they're going to use every single opportunity to turn the fight around.
Exactly, and you know, like there's so many teams that are kind of hovering around Pochinki area. Of course, not directly in the fields of Pochinki, but it's more kind of on the north side of Pochinki, and you got to be aware that it's open season, it's open field, and when you don't get into that circle in a safe way, it can really go against you. Now, Team Queso are kind of looking to take shots around DEFORMIA. DEFORMIA have made the wise choice of once again going down the southeast side to get into the entrance of the circle because, as I said, Potato Hill down the south, outside to the south of Pochinki, is unoccupied, so it is somewhat of a solid way to enter the circle.
I love this church area in Pochinki. It's such a good area to defend. Especially if you have a full team of 4 man, like you can just get a 360-degree area view on top of Pochinki, which is awesome, especially if the circle does close up on Pochinki again.
It's also Hosier's favorite area of ERANGEL.
Really?
Yeah, Come Take Me to Church. That song, did you not know that song?
I'm extremely. I got really bad music culture. I'm extremely bad.
It's because you're a weeb.
All I know is Post Malone. Also, and anime music.
Exactly. All you know
Naruto
is
openings are so good.
Exactly. It's okay. Uncultured swine. But
Arigatou gozaimasu.
yeah. So Purple Mood, they have that is just outside of Pochinki. It's kind of inside, but it's outside right. But it's still a good compound to occupy. Warframe on the side of DEFORMIA looking to take shots onto Team Queso. Team Queso, once again, sticking together. They're still a 4-man team. Most of these teams actually have 4 players left alive. There's still 57 players left. 15 teams kept going. Mystic does get a knockdown.
Who's going to roll over his ally, but you can't do that. I was like, no, sure, you can't do that. No, we're actually going for Pochinki. It might be the dream ending right here. And that's going to be a really good opportunity for Purple Mood and also Top Esports. They have the prime opportunity to just stop any team from getting inside the compound. And if they can defend that properly, they're just on the run to take this chicken dinner of Game 2.
And it's such a tough situation for these teams because there's so much open area to the east side of Pochinki and to the southwest side of Pochinki. It's all fields. Whereas the only really kind of solid place to enter in around Pochinki is the north side where PITTSBURGH Knights are heading. So it's going to be tough.
A lot of teams storming in towards this school area, actually going away right now. Nova Monster Shield, Indian Tigers, all just storming over there. And KURD Squad, they want to join the party. It's a derby race, you know, you got to try your best, try and make it there in time and first position, or otherwise you're going to have a hard time making it through that finishing line. Look at that, storming on through, and now this is going to turn into an epic battle to get into Pochinki.
We're going to see these shots popping off. We are going to get into a situation because we're still 23 minutes in where we are going to see the kill feed starting to light up, and it's starting with Purple Mood.
I think I've never seen this many teams in Pochinki at once. Indian Tigers getting eliminated. First team away in 15th position. See you later. Unfortunately, they had a really good game 1 on Sandhawk. This time around, not quite that good. Last position. We still have another Indian team. TeamIND on the southern section of Pochinki. You said earlier that would be a really good position to get into. Seemed like they listened to you. Really good coaching, Pyram. Nice job.
I know, right? I do what I do because I do what I do. However, on the side of KURD Squad, Ibra, as far as I know, is the only player left on his side. It's on the north side of this circle. But PITTSBURGH Knights are moving in, so he could be surrounded. However, Top Esports looking to come out on top against Team Seeker, but they do get the knockdown.
Seems like they're having a little bit of a harsh time right now. Top Esports looking at pretty good in the process, but look at that Team Secret using that smoke to its full potential and turning tides around. They are now top. Oh, Top Esports still white count on the tippity top of that mountain right here. Has a Granada getting cooked up. If you can shoot it properly, run the smoke. That's not where they're quite standing, unfortunately.
Nope.
If you can have the information on that car, you can actually get 2 easy kills. Fireball, he's trying to rotate up that hill to try and get the regen back up to make it a fair fight of a 2v2. But still, he's trying with those grenade shots, but that is also giving position away of where the last member was. So if they decide to commit Team Secret, they could potentially take him over by surprise.
Yeah, Team Secret were looking to heal up, and now they should look to push up because Fireboy, if he gets revived, that's going to be a 2v2 situation. We saw Team Secret do something similar where they stormed in on Pittsburgh Knights on ERANGEL yesterday, and it kind of blew up in their face somewhat. And that would be kind of a bit of a shame. But this next phase circle shift gone outside of Pachinki. Church where was a good spot for Hosier, but he's not playing in the preliminary finals. Let's see who's going to get on to this area right now. Omen Elite. They're in a good spot, but the road is splitting up these teams between the north and south side of this circle, and every single team are going to have to try and make their way through.
Another grenade coming on through. Will it connect? A little bit too far, but still, Alex a little bit put too low right there. He's going to have to be very cautious. Another grenade. They literally have no idea, but they're getting shots fired in the back right there from RGStarTeam, looking to storm this church over. So it's going to have to see how this fight actually does pan on through. PLM, all the teams are fighting. It's just so much going on at the same time. It's really hard to follow through.
It really is, because as I said, we're seeing this kill feed absolutely light up. Now, we've seen Omen Elite and XQF have pinched Pittsburgh Knights in a situation where Pittsburgh Knights are down to one player, which is Jagger. So that's not looking too good for them right now. As the side of RG, they're down to 3 players. Yaotian got taken out earlier on. AK, Aim Locker, and that third player looking to try and keep their hopes alive of getting into the top 5 to securing a spot in the global finals next week. Pachinki area finish for game 1 of ERANGEL in today's games.
I feel really bad for Top Esports. They had that church. It was in the next circle. They had no idea. They gave it up to fight Team Secret and RGStarTeam. Well, that's a free building right there. It's going to be ours now. We'll take in dibs on the church.
They're just going to camp it. They're going to look to build a wall, so to speak.
It's a high ground and a tall building.
Exactly.
And it's got so many openings. You can be super unpredictable when you're peeking through and trying to take high ground on teams. It's such a good area for this circle.
It really is, as a grenade went through to try and catch out the side of TeamIND. But the small fear is that a couple of grenades into that church could put RG under pressure. But the benefit for RG is that there is quite a lot of space that they can move around.
They can dodge it.
So they can kind of dodge them going through. Plus, as you said, they have the high ground, so it's going to be tough for IMD to kind of storm that compound. DEFORMIA keeping their hopes alive on the southwest side of the circle. Team Top looking to take down Purple Mood. We see what Purple Mood can do to keep their compounds alive, but they're being put under pressure. One member has been knocked down now. Team Top are going to push on through.
They didn't have the circle. They have to do something, and that's going to be something against Purple Mood. They're trying to get those knocks and flushes out of the way. There it is. Nice job from them. But now, be careful. CZ and Narwin, they're on the side. They were not in the same compound, and now you're going to have to deal with another fight. Grenade coming on through. Kobe on top of Kobe. And now Narwin sees it. They're looking to try and flush that kill away. Only Sangmin is left on the side of Top Gaming. So they're going to have a really harsh time. It's turned into a 1v2. He's got to try and regen them back up. Do not fight. There's no reason. Top of Korea can pull on through. That was a really good positioning, actually, from their side.
On a side note, you were saying about holding on to that church compound. TeamIND, they came on through and they eliminated RGStarTeam. So the team from India coming out on top, keeping the hopes of India alive in the preliminary finals, looking to make their way through the standings as we get through this game.
Purple Mood, we saw early on Sanhok. Even though they're not full team, they can do absolute miracles and take over some full
but
team
look at
plays.
this, like.
Looking at the Molotovs coming through. Also, the grenades. A lot of Unity getting used this early on, even though we're towards the late stage. But when you potentially going to have like an open area ending, those smokes are going to be so impactful. Using them right now is going to be like coming to bite you back where I'm thinking.
There's still 11 teams. There's still 28 players alive. We're in phase 6, Max, man. Phase 6 and there's that many players alive.
11 teams.
Ridiculous.
That means that most teams are not full squads. That's a really big section of it.
Yeah.
Be careful as Team Nova Monster Shield, the winners, one of the winners of ERANGEL yesterday, getting taken away.
Yep.
So no second chicken dinner for you, my friend. Jagger, we saw him earlier on the spotlight, one very confident player for the Pittsburgh Knights. But he's a little bit lonely, and NA versus NA, one of those teams will come out alive, the other one in defeat.
See, and here's the thing, because we're in Phase 6, and a lot of teams went in from the south side, we're seeing a lot of these teams die to the play zone, which is a little bit of a shame, but decided Top Esports taking down Team Top, looking to camp out this circle, looking to keep them alive as the Phase 7 circle shift went again northwards. Omen Elite, they have a good spot. XQF, they have a good spot inside the circle. All the teams around down south, the likes of Team Secret, Top Esports, or Rejection Gaming, they have to try and make their way through while firing off against each other.
Top Esports, they have the high ground. They're going to finally finish what they engaged earlier and finish off Team Secret. That's going to be a smoke coming on through. Maybe a little bit too late. They see him. He's prone down. Nothing they can really do. That's a prime opportunity to get those headshots, get that extra burst damage, and take them out. Team Secret, 6th position going their way. Like, Top Esports looking damn good.
In the space of 2 minutes, we went from 11 teams and 28 players to 5 teams and 14 players. Cut in half. Maxon, the players in this game have been cut in half in the space of 2 minutes. Omen Elite, they are on 2 kills. Pittsburgh Knights, they are on 2 kills. XQuest on 5 kills.
Look at those graphics. It looks so good. That was such a good shot. Thank you very much, production team. I love it. Ah, that runs on a mobile game.
I know, right?
That is just top-notch gaming right there. Play where you want, when you want. XQF, still a little bit split. You have Cool Boy, the coolest of the big boys, staying around with those high scores, those high kill points. And he's trying to take that fight versus Omen Elite. Omen Elite staying prone down, trying to take their time, not getting scouted out. But they're using a lot of utility. But Jagger, Lone Wolf doing some work, but might be scouted out by Outsider that's just behind that tree. Grenade coming on through, a little bit of extra damage output, a lot of utility, as I said earlier on the fight. White Cat going to be facing on through. But this is starting to be a snake ending Imperium, and I'm loving it.
Jagger does knock down the member of Omen Elite, Outsider 9K, without being exposed himself. That is fantastic play from this lone wolf of Pittsburgh Knights, securing the frag. All Rejection Gaming is going to be put under pressure from XQF. Jagger is once again on a kill streak. As I said, this lone wolf, this man on a mission to put Pittsburgh Knights as high up as they can in the standings, in the placement points, to try and get into a top 5 situation.
The amount of trees and rocks are getting reduced to a really low number, and it's just not going to be enough. But look at that, XQF, 4 members still in the last circle. That's going to be extremely important for the next fight to come. On the side of the circle on your left there, you do have Omen Elite also looking good with 3 members, and only 4 teams still remaining, and it's extremely close. And
yeah,
we're not there yet.
No, we are. We're not there yet. We've got 4 teams. We've got 11 players live. We've got to stay quiet, otherwise the players will hear us, and they're snaking around.
Careful, God does love noise. What are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing? Indeed, it is XQF. Cat looks for shots off on this side of Omen Elite. They took a bit of a risk getting that vehicle, but they're trying to use it for cover. A grenade is going to go out. It does connect onto Memo, and he gets knocked down. However, that vehicle is still going to be there. It's still going to give Omen Elite a chance to get into the circle. The member of Top Esports does get taken out. That's going to be them being taken out right now. But the match has ended, and XQF are the winner chicken dinners.